Welcome to another Demarcation Media Blokees review. Today we have Shining version 02, Shining 1985. If you don't know what Shining version is an in-between of Blokees classes. So Classic class is the bigger, more detailed, and light-up kits, and then Galaxy version are the smaller, more chibi version. Now, Shining version is the chibi designs, but with the light up feature, which is pretty awesome. They come in waves of 6, which is what we've got here. This is a full box, whereas the normal Galaxy versions come in waves of 9. There is still a rare for every Shining version wave though, so there is a chance of you pulling some variant. And all of these, or a lot of these, are variants of existing characters. However, Blokees has consistently done at least one exclusive character per Shining version wave. So first one was Acid Storm. Second wave, we have Beachcomber and Sunstorm as exclusive characters. However, that could change. You know, they could release a different version of Sunstorm or Beachcomber somewhere else. But as of right now, they're exclusive to Shining version 02. These will have been built live. If you missed the live, then I will have the replay up in the corner so you can watch the build process, and we will come back as soon as these are all put together. And there are all the figures all put together. Now there are some accessories that come just standard for everybody across the entire wave. So first of those is Energon cubes. These are the pink powered up variants. That's awesome to get, great for a little bit of world building on the side. Every figure will also get a pair of fist hands in various colors and a pair of open hands in various colors. In addition, every figure will include a stand like this. Autobots get yellow, Decepticons get purple. These can connect together if you want to kind of make yourself a display, and they have studs to stick the figures onto. So far, Blokees has been keeping up the tradition of an exclusive Seeker in every Shining wave, and this wave's Seeker is Sunstorm, who looks awesome. The white and the kind of buttery orange. He's got flames on his forearms. He's got print on his wings. He's got the light up feature. You can see the light pretty well through his chest. Overall, he's just really, really awesome. I have very few complaints with how he looks. I think he looks great among all the other Seekers. I think he really stands out as well. What I don't like is the fact that every single one of his joints has cracked and is now extremely loose. I had issues with this guy's joints right off the bat. They were very, very tight. So tight that I couldn't even assemble them without adding oil. And the oil seemingly didn't actually help because they all snapped anyway. This isn't just a white joint thing because I have other Blokees with white joints. But this guy is kind of a mess now as a result, and I'm not super happy about that. If you get this guy, you'll have to let me know in the comments if yours came super tight or if yours came okay, because I'm curious to know if that's the case for all of them. I do know some figures just seem to come with super, super tight joints. I don't know why. I think Blokees sometimes gets the tolerances wrong. But other than that, I do really like this dude. I think he looks great. I just wish his joints didn't all snap. Soundwave is hands down the best figure of this wave, if for no other reason than the sheer amount of stuff he comes with. Because in this version, you get Laserbeak and you get Ravage. You get a printed cassette, if I can get open. There we go. There's a printed up cassette. That's awesome. And he comes with his gun in addition to, you know, the stand and the Energon cube and the extra hands. So he is already just absolutely chock full of extras. It's really nice to get his two little cassette guys, and obviously they're pretty limited in terms of detail. I mean, they can't really pose and they don't have any printing, but they still look really good. Laserbeak is a two-piece construction, so that's cool. And then just in terms of detail, Soundwave looks great. I like the more buttery orange that they used here instead of the super bright kind. We got a bit of print on his gun. The face is shiny. I think the shiny face works for Soundwave better than any of the other Shining figures. He's got print on the chest, print on the legs. He's just fantastic. If you want a G1 Galaxy-sized Soundwave, this is the one to get, in my opinion. It's the definitive Soundwave for this size.
He does light up, but in this studio, it is freaking hard to see. The battery might be dying on this guy too. I have used it quite a bit because I do think it looks cool in a dim room. As is pretty standard with Shining waves and honestly a lot of Blokees waves, in general there wasn't a ton of Decepticons. So now we're on to the Autobots and we've got Sideswipe. And he's fairly similar to his standard release counterpart for the most part. He's got the shiny face and the eyes that the light comes through. You can see it a little bit. There you go. But the big draw for this guy is his accessories. So he does come with the standard just blaster gun. But he comes with the Jetpack, the infamous Jetpack. So these bits are actually just blast effects that can be plugged into here. You can also just use them on the gun, so that's nice. And you can remove this if you want to, and you could have Optimus steal it. That is an option. You don't get Sideswipe's backplate, though. That's the only downside to taking the Jetpack from him. As I complained with the other Sideswipe, his head has very little articulation. It can move up and down just a little bit more side to side, but that's about it. So fairly limited there. I do think that the shiny face at first is a little jarring, but I kind of have grown to like it. And the Jetpack really just makes this. So if you want the Jetpack, yeah, go after this guy. But if you already got Sideswipe and don't really care about the Jetpack, I wouldn't try to hunt this guy down too hard. Also, I just ripped his arm off for literally no reason. Grimlock was another figure that I wasn't all too sure about getting another version of, but I gotta say, the light up feature on this guy when you're actually in a dark room, actually even here, it's kind of fantastic. It does not pipe into the head super great, but on the chest, it looks really good. Also, the print between the front of the chest and the back of the chest is pretty well matched. This Grimlock comes with his blaster, and the sword, which previously you only got in one of the other Dinobots, and he's got extra printing. So you see the forearms have extra print. He's got a little smiley face on his crotch, which is a little strange, but then he's got the print for the legs. Now, in addition to that, you also get an alternate eyepiece to give him orange eyes if you so wish. When I was live building this, the chat decided that he should be built with the blue, and of course he's got his little dino arms on the back. Overall, very solid figure. I think if you want a Grimlock, I would probably go for this guy over the standard release. That's just my opinion. I think that the extra bit of detail that he's got and the light up feature really goes a long way. Also, I'm a sucker for a sword, and he's got the sword, so I'm probably just biased because of the sword. A big draw of this wave for a lot of people that I've seen has been Beachcomber, and this is currently the only way to get Beachcomber in his standard colors. You can get him in the 2025 Golden Lagoon, but that's just an all gold version. This guy does come with a Golden Lagoon hand, and I find that pretty cool because it's a hand that we don't typically get. It's this little like kind of cupping hand, and it's in the gold, and it looks really good, really unique. He also comes with a little blob bird. There's really no detail on it other than, you know, the shape, but you know, he can have a little bird friend. That's pretty cool. He also does come with a gun. This is a really cool looking gun. It almost looks like a Halo weapon to me. I am a little annoyed by it because it is floppy as heck in the hand. It doesn't stick all that well, but it does look awesome. As for detail, Beachcomber's got his wheels. That looks great. He's got some nice molded detail on the chest. Little bits of print here and there, just enough to do the trick. And he's got the light up feature, and it does pipe through the eyes pretty well. He does have solid articulation for the head. I'm not really complaining too much about that. I do find it interesting they didn't make his face silver. Maybe that's just accurate to Beachcomber. I'm not hugely familiar with Beachcomber, but I do really like the way he looks. And I know, again, a lot of people were real happy to see him. And again, right now, this is the only way to get a normal color of him. So now we come to Optimus. Now, being the somewhat newer Transformers fan that I am, I don't have a huge connection to this particular Optimus design, but I do really appreciate how much effort Blokees has put into it. It has a lot going on. We've got all the detail that's kind of all color separated except for on the chest there's some print. But yeah, the rest is color separated. We've got a new gun, which is pretty cool. It's nice to get that. It does work with pretty much all blast effects. The head is a new piece. The light does pipe decent through it. It's really hard to see in the studio. Silver print looks great on it. The shoulders with the removable pipes are fantastic. I love how the chest looks. So much nice detail. Also, the articulation is pretty darn good for this particular Optimus mold. And the feet especially get quite a bit of movement, which I am always happy about. It makes it a lot easier to stand him up. And around the back, we don't really have any print, but we do still have plenty of molded detail. So that overall is a fantastic figure. Oh yeah, and I forgot. These are ball jointed, so he can still do the splits. The rare, though. He looks so good. But I have to get something out of the way right off the bat because I'm quite frustrated. He's got the same exact problem as Sunstorm. All of his joints are now freakishly loose because they cracked. When I first got him, the joints would barely assemble, and it's an absolute mess. He's even got a crack in his wrist because the hand didn't want to plug in correctly. That is abysmal, and that is something that I hope to not see in the future with Blokees. I know they've been upgrading and upgrading and upgrading their joints, so I'm hoping that that's a thing of the past, a growing pain, if you will. The rest of this guy, though, detail-wise, he's got more detail. He's got detail on the knees, detail on the forearms. He's got print in the wheels there. His head has a little bit more print, and he's got orange eyes and chest instead of blue. I think that looks really good. His eyes glow even better than with the blue. He's got the little Autobot symbol. The pipes are silver. Still no print around the back, but you can see some cracks on the joints. That's very unpleasant. But aside from the cracks, I think he is absolutely fantastic. And he's got the same exact gun as the other one. So nothing really special there. But yeah, this finish is beautiful. Well, there you have it. That is Shining version 02. Overall, a super solid wave. I think that, again, Sideswipe and Grimlock, a little redundant, but if you want to collect the entire wave, I do feel like all of them provide some value, even if you have the original Grimlock and the original Sideswipe. Soundwave, best figure. That's just hands down. He's the definitive Galaxy G1 Soundwave at the time of the recording of this video. Beachcomber is great to get. Optimus is really cool, especially if you can get that shiny version. And then Sunstorm is great to get another exclusive Seeker. My big gripe is the tolerances, and hopefully it's growing pains, but I am not a big fan at all of broken joints. So those two make me quite miffed. I, again, hope Blokees continues ironing it out, but every time this issue pops up, I am going to talk about it. Not a fan of that. That's my real dislike for this wave, because I really haven't had this happen with any other waves aside from, like, the Golden Lagoon, the first wave. So if you have a figure, if you buy this wave, you have a figure that the joints are really hard to put together, I would recommend sanding them or something before assembling it, because otherwise there's a high chance it'll just snap. Overall though, I do recommend it. I will have the links if you want to pick this wave up down in the description and in the pinned comment. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and consider subscribing, and I'll see you next time.